devastating storm.
Or my beach towel. This came from somebody's house. This toilet seat came from somebody's house.
Mike Jolly is the sheriff in Harris County, Georgia, but he has a home in Mexico Beach. He's been in town since the storm, helping with security, but today was the first time he's been inside his home.
I did ride by it, but that was not the reason I came down initially. I came down to help the people, the citizens, provide a service for Mexico Beach and the people.
But now he can look at what happened to his home. His walk down the stairs has become a maze of debris, and everything inside is destroyed.
This was going to be our retirement home. And as you can see now, because of the water damage and the heavy winds.
This drone video shows just how many homes in Mexico Beach were damaged by the hurricane. The mayor says the majority of homes in the city will need to be demolished.
Probably easily 80–85% of them.
But people like Mike Jolly hope to build the city back up.
My neighbors and I, we want to rebuild. Mexico Beach is a great little community.
Those here doing their best to move forward. In Mexico Beach, I'm Katerina Lukatich.
Well, after days of no cell reception, some residents were able to use their phones this week. While service has resumed in some places, some still have no cell reception. Governor Rick Scott has demanded that telecommunications companies provide a restoration plan. Now, in some areas, people used their cell phones for the first time when a company brought in a flying cow, a cell on wings, if you will, a drone that serves as an LTE site.
New tonight, the Florida Department of Corrections has announced more than 4,000 inmates have been evacuated following structural damage. Bay Correctional Facility evacuated 959 inmates, while Gulf Correctional Institution and Annex transferred 2,600 to other facilities.
The general election is coming up, leaving many people wondering how they will cast their votes with so many polling places destroyed by the hurricane. News 13's Kirsten Mitchell tells us how election officials are planning to make adjustments.
While basic needs like food and water remain a top priority in the aftermath of Hurricane Michael, another area of concern is what's going to happen during the general election on November 6th. I'm at the Supervisor of Elections office in Bay County, where they've sustained some major damage. At one point, the roof even flew off. There's been lots of people here working around the clock to get this office back up and running. I'm joined now by Supervisor of Election Mark Anderson. Tell me what happened here at the building during the storm.
Well, first of all, the roof was gone. You could see the stars if you were on the second floor. But when that happened, all the rain continued in the storm, which made all the rain come into all of this area, and every single room on this level, anywhere you go, that also was flooding into on the computers, into the server room, and we had up to close to 2 inches of water in many of the spaces in here. That we were in the building before the hurricane hit. We were in the building when the hurricane hit, and we were pushing water out. Myself and Ray, one of my employees, his son and my wife were pushing water out of this building to the outside of the door for, I'd say, 9 hours straight, just to try to keep the building so that hopefully, as we are right now, we're not too far from being able to survive this.
Wow, it sounds like there's a ton of work here, lots left to be done. As far as the election goes, a lot of these polling places have been destroyed. What is the plan right now? Are you guys still making one?
Well, there will be no polling locations. There'll be mega voting sites. That's what the term will be, is a mega voting site. You can go to any one of the 5 that we're going to establish, and we're looking for a large area with big parking lots. We know one already will be Lindale Senior Center. Another one will be in Lynn Haven that the mayor and I have already talked about in Lynn Haven, and got established a nice big building there. We'll be looking for 3 other locations, possibly Springfield, but we're waiting to see if that building's even usable. So we will be pushing forward and getting that information out to the public. You do not wait until the last day to vote. And everybody do that, because this is going to be one of those where we have 5 locations to go and vote. What we want to do is spread out that 120,000 voters on 5 sites from the 27th of October to November 6th. That'll be 12 hours a day. That's 10 days of 12 hours. Spread out. When you can go. Don't wait till the last minute. Please, not everyone cannot wait till the last minute, or there'll be a very, very long line on Election Day.
Okay, so tell me, what about mailing your ballots? What do you have advice for that, or what advice do you have for that?
mailing your ballot right now, the advice is just sit on it for a couple more days until things get a little bit more organized. If you want to drop it off in our box out front, we will. It will get picked up every single day. I have staff in here. We've been in this building the day before, and there's been someone here every single day, and there will be staff in here working it. Some of my staff have lost their homes, and they're still in here working. So I just want you to know the dedication that's out there as far as be patient. And remember, we're all in this together, and if you just try not to push too early, wait till Thursday of this week. It would be better for our timing to make everybody stay comfortable, because I only have limited staff even available right now to do what we're doing.
And is there any way to get in touch with you at this point? The phones, are they down right now, or when can people start reaching out?
There's no internet, there's no email, there's no phone. There's minimal cell phone. Please don't everyone call my cell phone number that's on the front door right now. I will answer it as soon as I can. It just started working. I beg everybody, just give us till Thursday for the election stuff. I promise you, we'll get you to get your ballot. We'll make sure that you're able to vote. We'll get to October 27th. Everybody will start voting. We'll get through the 6th, all the way up till 7 p.m. Your ballot will be counted. Your vote by mail will be processed and received. And hopefully we can get to Christmas in December and all be cheering.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and thank you for all your hard work here getting everything back up and running. Like he said, they're still looking for some big venues around the county for those mega voting sites. But it sounds like we will have an election, which is great news here in Bay County. Reporting in Bay County, Kirsten Mitchell, News 13.
All right, thanks a lot, Kirsten. Well, now let's check in with meteorologist Spencer Atkins from our sister station WOWK out of Charleston, West Virginia.
Hi, Spencer.
Hi, Amy. Hi, Chris. Yeah, I tell you, this forecast is looking pretty good. Glad to be here so that Justin and Ross and Sam can kind of handle a couple of things. Let's look out right now. When you look downtown in the areas that we can see very well with the camera here from Perry and Young, you can see obviously the darkness, but the crews really stick out. Look at that. So you have a crew here, they're working on restoration. A crew here, they're working on restoration. And I know you're like me, you can't wait to start to see lights appearing right in the next couple of days. Hopefully, as we have heard again from Gulf Power and just the representatives here, and they're very positive and trying to stay upbeat and keep working here, and the weather's going to cooperate, I think, for at least a few days. Temperatures here through the 10 o'clock hour still in the 70s. We're going to stay there for several hours, so be ready again for what I should think would be a mild night. Past couple of hours, the last few little isolated showers have diminished. And check this out, a little bit of a northerly breeze setting up, and so tonight we'll look for just a few clouds around. It's going to be cool. It's going to be, well, we'll call it kind of crisp even compared to where we've been inland at 62 degrees. We'll go with about 68 degrees by the coast. Of course, the effect of the Gulf there still keeping it a little bit warmer, a little more muggy down by the water. But there is a refreshing breeze set to move in, and some really big changes in store for next week that you'll want to stick around and see. And we'll look out there and again into the future next week. We'll look at some trends that will certainly make it feel more like fall in this area.
Thank you so much. Spencer Atkins, our meteorologist, filling in for Justin Kiefer tonight. We appreciate you. Well, hotels across the Panhandle booked solid tonight. We want to smash one rumor that has been circulating. Yeah,
that rumor, FEMA is handing out vouchers for hotels. Folks, it's not true.
FEMA does not use vouchers for hotels. All sheltering in hotels is approved by FEMA, and it is paid directly to those hotels. FEMA is handing out vouchers for hotels. Again, fact, FEMA doesn't do that. All sheltering in hotels or motels approved by FEMA is paid directly to the businesses. Survivors do not receive vouchers from FEMA. Well, News 13's Samantha Williams from our sister station in Augusta, Georgia, spent the morning talking with locals who are now taking refugees in area hotels.
Aquaview Motel did not suffer much damage, but we're going to take a look at the pool here. This is probably the most damage it's suffered. You can see there's some debris in the pool. Totally can't swim in that. And then if you look up, that motel directly across the parking lot, definitely not as fortunate. Now, we are told that this motel is for sure booked up. A lot of people are staying here. Not many rooms. It is pretty small, but here with me, I have Blue. He lives in Panama City. Tell me a little bit about your circumstance, why you're here.
I'm really here because, the roof on my house came off, and there's really no conditions to be living in. I got a few of my neighbors. We all just had to get out of there.
Definitely. And so how has your experience been here, Blue? I've heard, you know, it's generally about $30 a night.
Yes, we've been paying like $110, $115, something like that a night. You know what I'm saying? It's 2 rooms that we got. So that's like a little price gouging or whatever, but it's all good. You know, we got to just stay strong.
That's right. Let's go inside and take a look at what you guys are staying right now. So it's a 1-bedroom. You got, obviously your neighbors are here during the day to kind of hang out, get some AC. Luckily you guys have power. Also, you said you had some help from FEMA, right?
Yes, they came out and did an interview about my home. They told me they'll send a check like 7 to 10 days when I call in. But other than that, we haven't really received any help from anybody, Red Cross, anybody. Like, we stay on the town side, like 2218 on up, like, and we have nothing. Like, it's a 72-year-old woman over there. She can't walk. She's stuck in the house, basically, and there's nothing we can do about it because we're scared. We can't move her. We're not medical.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Blue. And now, Mr. Royce, you're Mr. Blue's neighbor. If you want to stand up, we can talk to you for a second. Your house suffered severe damage, and you were actually inside at that point. Tell me a little bit about what happened.
Well, basically the roof had came in on it because of the rain and all, and when it fell in, it fell on me, and that's about it. So, you know, beside that, the neighbors had some difficulties, which I had to get them out. I had to go through the wall, but they got out and they got gone. So now I'm basically homeless, as they say. No help except for these people here.
So basically, these are your neighbors, and this has been your newfound family.
Right, that's about right.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Reporting in Panama City Beach, I'm Samantha Williams.
Thank you very much. Slowly but surely, that's what Gulf Power is telling us about restoration times for the Panhandle.
Right now, more than 100,000 customers are still in the dark, but crews have been making progress. Vernon, Sunny Hills, surrounding areas south of I-10 should have power by October the 18th.
That's right. Now, all downtown Panama City, Callaway, Parker, Lynn Haven, Youngstown, and surrounding areas can expect to have power back by next Wednesday, October 24th at midnight.
Gas and diesel fuel are now available at the Gulf County Health Department. Cash and credit accepted. However, there will be no change available for cash purchases. There is a 15-gallon limit on gas at $3 per gallon and a 30-gallon limit on diesel fuel at $3.40 per gallon. Fuel is available between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Motorists must approach the health department from Madison Street, though, and enter through the south entrance. Over in Panama City, Hurricane Michael has left behind many damages to homes, including a group of home facilities.
That's right. One local organization evacuated all of their group home members right before the storm hit. Now they hope to clean up the area and get those members back home to get the care they need. News 13's Megan Myers has that story for us.
The McKenzie House is one of 6 group home locations here in Bay County. All of these trees right here behind me actually filled this entire yard. And right now I am joined with Terry. He's been helping people for 18 years. Now, Terry, tell us about how this process has been ever since Hurricane Michael devastated the area of actually getting people out of these homes.
Well, I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning. I saw how bad it was going to be, but it was kind of too late to get out, so I just called everybody. You know, I prayed and called everybody to say, just buckle down and just pray. And that's what we've done.
And I know a big problem has been torn down trees, and that has definitely been an issue. It's very clear here as we can see all the torn down trees.
Yeah,
and what has that process been like to clean up the area?
Well, it's been, you know, luckily I knew some tree surgeons, guys, and I was able to, they was able to jump right on it. And of course I had to wait till the adjusters, and the adjusters, they came. I talked to him yesterday. He said, okay, go get them started. So, and I just recently talked to some roofers, so we're going to get started because I got to get my babies back home.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I really appreciate it. And a lot of people really are focusing on moving forward, and there's hope. So yes. Thank you so much. Reporting in Panama City, I'm Megan Myers. Back to you.
Well, here's a sign of progress tonight. Several local stores are reopening. Most of them are located west of Richard Jackson Boulevard on Panama City Beach. There are more open stores, again, mainly west of Richard Jackson. For a list, you can go to our website, mypanhandle.com. All right, I think it's time now to take a look at the weather forecast, and we have a special meteorologist in who is going to take a look at what's happening tonight and in the coming days.
Yeah, Spencer Atkins, one of the meteorologists from our sister station, part of our Nexstar Nation that we call ourselves, Nexstar Broadcasting, which owns the stations that we all worked for. But Nexstar Nation is one big family, we like to call us, and without them. Yeah. We couldn't have been, without the engineers and everybody, we couldn't have been on air as fast as we were.
There's probably
and without the help.
50 people in there, you know, from other stations.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look out front, there's cars from across the country. Well, and it's not like they're just here just kind of looking and gawking. They're here working.
No, they're working.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just like you,
in the street.
giving our meteorological team
yeah, meteorological.
a much-needed break, because we
Yeah.
all have to check on our homes, too.
Right.
So it's giving them a break. And you've come in to tell us what to expect. You have some good
Sure,
news.
yeah, I have some good news. I think, you know, this cooling trend, and this is the funny thing, you know, it's all about acclimation, right? So for me, coming here 90 degrees, I'm like, oh no, this is so hot. But Justin assures me this is actually hot for y'all too, so that's
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
All right, let's show you what's happening out there right now. And again, here's another one of the crews right there. I'm not sure, that was pointing west. That might be about over that construction area there as you head west on 98.
Yeah.
Looks like that's kind of like where they have the big cement pillars and everything. Trust me, I spent a couple, 3-4 hours over there. Yep, as we all have too, as that drive is really, really something, isn't it? So again, the officials are telling us, look, if you can, and you don't have to be out, just don't, because literally I came in today from Miramar area and Destin area, and it was like 4 hours to get to anywhere. Just kind of the way it is. All right, and that's all right, as long as we're patient and hopefully a little bit kind to one another. I actually saw a guy get out of the car. Let's not. That's not really a great idea. All right, let's check this out now. Temperatures over the 10 o'clock hour. Here we are in the upper and mid 70s in Panama City and Blountstown and Mariana, and then you move up to the north here, Dothan, 73 degrees, over at Destin, 80 degrees, and it's been a little cooler over here. How about this, over toward Evergreen, where it's 68, and just over the past couple of hours, we've seen a couple little showers between Mariana and Blountstown here, just kind of fading, and we've lost the daytime heat, and of course we have basically the Gulf breeze coming in, meeting the land breeze, and with that, that's where you get little pop-ups. Two airflows coming together, air goes up, pop-up shower, thunderstorm, and then it's gone. And that is the key again for, I think, tomorrow with even fewer of those, because the northerly wind is going to win out a little bit stronger. If we do see an isolated cell, it'll be just that. We'll probably count them on one hand. Temperature trends, let's look ahead. Obviously, that's what a forecast is. We're forecasting, looking out into the future. So today we had 90, but look at this trend. Yeah, we settle back down here to the 80s, low 80s, and then how about these 70s? Saturday, that's some rain, and then we're just kind of right there in the 70s, and that's for your afternoon highs. Your lows will take a dip too. Day planner for tomorrow, we'll start off at about 66 in a lot of spots. We'll get back to about 80 or so by noon, and up around 84 or so for your afternoon. Let's zoom in on our portion of the globe, and again, we had those couple little showers and storms earlier at about 7:30 or so. And let's go back over the past afternoon time frame, and there you can see we had quite a bit of rain over here on the Red River, staying out to the west of us, and we're actually on the edge of an area of high pressure, which is keeping it nice here, and those temperatures again still running in the 70s and 80s. So the setup is for tomorrow, big high pressure that's over here in the Atlantic, but the effects of that range over to the Gulf, and that's where we'll pick up a bit of a northeasterly breeze for us for tomorrow. Friday, the high, the center of that actually moves a little bit on over southeast Florida, a little bit closer to, let's say, maybe Miami, Palm Beach area. And then over here again, we still have nice dry effects until finally a front moves down and changes that. Let's watch our future cast, and actually we'll look back just a little bit. We saw those pop-ups exit. Now tomorrow, see the blue arrows indicating that northeast wind? So if we see any pop-ups set up, I can't imagine that there will be very many whatsoever. And then again, it's just a nice evening tomorrow evening. As we look ahead to Friday, you might see just a teeny little shower right there down by Apalachicola that squeaks in, but again, being on the edge of the high, all those showers and storms kind of stay out of the area, so there's plenty of time to get out there and do some work. The only active area that we saw out here in the tropics is something that'll be more of a concern for the Pacific, not so much for us. And I tell you, here we go. Next week, this is the American GFS model. European model had all this crazy stuff going on, and then guess what? Now it looks more like this. So this is rain Thursday and Friday. Is that a good bit of rain for us? Yeah, that's a good bit of rain. But is that anything tropical? No. And now the formation of anything that's even stronger is over well to the east of us. So just to kind of calm some nerves, the internet started to jump up and down about some things that just don't appear to be even feasible at this point. So rain, sure. We're just going to kind of just deal with that. That won't be too bad of a deal. We do not believe at this point. Inland, again, 62 degrees for tonight. Coastal zones, about 68 degrees for your low. Tomorrow we'll get back to about 81 in the inland areas and 84 degrees at the coast. And then a quick spin through your 5-day forecast. Yeah, we know we have some rain on Saturday. Okay, that's all right. It cools us down, though. Look at this. We have 71 on Sunday. That's nice fall weather, and 50 in the morning, 73 from Monday. And again, here we go at the coast. Just a little bit warmer, but you know, look at that. You go from 80s to 70s, and if you think about overall, so we had like 90 for a couple days. Now we're getting a couple of days here in the low 80s, then a couple days in the low 70s. So we're kind of trending to where people kind of enjoy a little bit more. Saturday, we may have to take a little time out from some roof work and clean up, but other than that, I think we're looking pretty good over that 5-day stretch.
All right, you brought us some good luck. We appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, thanks, Spencer. Well, we got a crew out to Wewahitchka today. News 13's Chelsea Tedonio was there to see the efforts made by the community to help out.
That's right. Cars lined up to get free meals and water at the local high school. Let's take a look.
Hurricane Michael was a large storm that affected so many people in lots of counties. We're here in Gulf County at the high school in Wewahitchka, where, yes, this place got hit too, and they have a massive effort here to get people what they need. They've got water, they've got supplies, everything that they need, and there are lots of cars coming in to get that. And I'm here with the city commissioner to help spearhead this effort. Can you please introduce yourself, sir?
My name is Ralph Fisher, and I'm a city commissioner of Wewahitchka, Florida.
Wonderful. So now what can we see behind us here? What have you got that you're giving out to people?
We're giving out these food packets, these meals, these ration meals, and we're giving out water here. When the families come through, we give them whatever they need. Then we also have ice. We're doing ice.
So we're going to walk along here and we're going to try and show the large amount of donations that you've received, because you've got a lot of people coming through. How many cars did you say you're giving supplies to a day?
We do an average of 3,000 cars a day.
That is just amazing. So we're going to keep walking around here, because around the corner we'll show that these cars just drive up to the tents, and you've got volunteers here just loading up just different supplies for these people. Now, who all is volunteering to do this?
Well, we have the local football team here, and then we have the ladies softball team here that's at school. And then, of course, we have some of the sheriff's departments that's from the other state, from like out of Gainesville. They're here helping us. And then we have the National Guard here. We really do have a small crew, but I think we're going to get more help when we had some come through here and look and see that the operation size it was and the amount of people that we are touching. They talk like they're going to get us some more help.
So people who are in the area who need this stuff, what time can they come to get these supplies?
We open up at 7 in the morning. That is Central Time till 7 in the evening.
7 to 7. And if anyone wants to donate, should they bring it here?
Not really here, because we basically do the water and the MRIs and the ice here. But if they want to bring some, they can contact us at 850-639-2605, and that is the city hall, and they will tell them where they go, because we are getting a lot of support, and we're putting it in different buildings, and so we don't crowd up and block up one area at one time.
That's so great. It's so nice to hear that you're getting so much support. And so what do you have to say about this whole experience and what you've seen out of the community here in Wewahitchka?
Well, today I had one lady that told me that at one time we had a disagreement, and that this is it. It's over with, she said.
So no matter what you were like before, this has brought people together?
It brings people together. People are helping and helping and helping each other.
You've got to be there for each other in a time like this. And if you need some water or some ice or some MREs, some food, you can come here to the Wewahitchka High School from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Every day are you open?
Yes, ma'am.
Every day. Reporting in Wewahitchka, Chelsea Tedonio, News 13.
All right, thanks, Chelsea. Well, Port St. Joe is right next door to Mexico Beach, and the small town also seeing a lot of devastation. Gulf County was heavily impacted by the storm. Many areas still without water and power. News 13's Aaron Morgan was out there earlier and heard the latest on the community from Sheriff Mike Harrison.
Obviously, Bay County was one of the areas that was hit hardest by Hurricane Michael, but another one that was severely impacted was right here in Gulf County. I'm joined here live with the Sheriff Mike Harrison. And Mike, just tell us what happened here.
Well, it was rough. I mean, we started out, everybody's looking at Mexico Beach, and what you see at Mexico Beach is only 10 miles from here. So we were on the deadly side of the storm on the right. Our biggest issue here, mostly in Port St. Joe, was the tidal surge, the winds, and in the north end of the county was the massive winds there that just destroyed our little county to pieces.
I know we have this baseball field right here that has some significant damage. What are the biggest things that you're seeing over here in Gulf County?
Our issues that we're really addressing now is trying to get our communications back. That's getting better. We finally got our phones back up a couple of days. We were in the dark for 3 days. We had one carrier that worked on the south end of the county, one carrier that worked on the north end of the county. Our radio communications with law enforcement was non-existent from north to south, and just so much things going on. Complete power outage for the entire county. No one had power in the entire county. We're getting that back slowly, but we've got a long ways to go.
Right, and you said that Gulf County is only about 10 miles from Mexico Beach.
Yes.
So when you see that flyover video, is part of that Port St. Joe?
As you come along Port St. Joe Beach, it attaches right to Mexico Beach, so it's pretty much continuous there. And the damage out there, as you've seen in Mexico Beach, continues right on. And St. Joe Beach is inhabited by the residents. It's much like Mexico Beach. They've got a few visitors that come in, but it's inhabited by the residents full time, and they've lost their homes forever.
Wow, absolutely devastating out here. But the community is coming together. We're here at one of the kind of drop-off spots that members of the community have dropped off donations. If you guys want to take a look at what's over here, and Sheriff, just talk about some of the things that are going on here.
So many good things that are going on. We've got a lot of community support out here. We've got a lot of people that are just coming in here to volunteer. They're talking, right now I'm looking at our tax collector that's came out here to volunteer her help. Volunteers from the school, and they're bringing donations in here from all around. Some from out of the state, and as they come in here, they're actually able to walk around and do a little shopping for what they need for their specific situation.
That's awesome thing that you guys are doing out here. And as the sheriff, I mean, you patrol these streets every single day. How are you feeling about all this?
It's hard to see a community that's, I'd say, is going to be permanently changed. You know, we're going to be resilient. We're going to bounce back. But when you really look at the devastation here and the old homes that are really been destroyed, it's kind of interesting and